I love the background. I was like, I gotta do something like that. So you guys got the cool like colors.
Welcome.
Welcome. Roberto,
Welcome.
Your hair looks beautiful, Roberto, as
you.
always.
Thank you.
Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome.
We are so proud to announce Dubb Enterprise. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe you don't work for an enterprise company. This is not just for large organizations. This is for everyone. This is a mindset thing. This is a way, it's a philosophy on how to grow your sales at scale, how to grow your sales at the speed of enterprise. These are 7 new features that will change the way that you communicate with video. So let's get into these. Shannon, Darius, Roberto, Paige, thank you so much for joining this call. Let's get into this. Who wants to go next?
Right. I mean, I'll start, right? So some of these things, okay, specifically the teleprompter piece I like to start with. This is really one of the biggest hurdles Roberto and I were just talking about before we went live is people aren't natural to speaking on camera, right? It's not something that they're born to do for a lot of people. And so one of those hurdles is, knowing what to say and speaking fluently on camera. For a lot of people, like myself included, I like to write a script. I like to know what I'm going to say ahead of time sometimes. And that makes the delivery easier for me, right? I have no anxiety and things like that. So we built this teleprompter here so that you could put your best foot forward. We don't, like, say if you have a copywriter, if you have a team of people, you don't have to leave the script writing up to them, right? We can write a good script, share with people on our team, with ourselves, and then use the teleprompter here to read from that script so that, and you can see where it's placed. It's right up at the top near the camera so that it's designed to where it still looks like you're looking at the camera, maybe not perfectly at it, but right towards it, where you're not doing this in your video, right?
That's
trying to read
awesome.
from your page. So it's designed specifically for that. You can resize the text and things, and this is going to also connect into the mobile device. So same teleprompter, same scripts. It's almost there. I don't know how many days, Ruben, till it's on the app. So
I think it's within a day or two. Yeah, we're gonna roll it out. Yeah.
So same deal there, where on your mobile device, on your desktop now, you can give yourself a little script and I did this for one of our big sales videos that's going out to a lot of people, and so I used it myself to kind of make it right. It helped a lot. Otherwise, that script was going to be a pain in the butt to remember that whole thing. So, all right, got Russ here too.
Hey,
Anyways,
sorry for the delay.
No. So this is the teleprompter piece. You can write the scripts, assign the owners. I mean, for those of you with team members, right? We want certain scripts for certain people, maybe groups of teams that want that specific script. And then you have the ability to share it as well. So here's scripts, and that ties into that teleprompter piece on your recording from your mobile or your webcam.
So where do you find that feature?
First you go to assets, and then you go to scripts in the left navigation, and that's where you're going to create your script. Okay, now your script can be something that you own, you create, or it can be something that someone else creates as a Dubb a team account user, and then they can just make you the owner. And then you can also share it. So by sharing it, other people can view it. So it's something that you can use as an individual, or you can use on a team basis.
Fantastic.
The thing I really like about the fact that you actually scroll at your own pace too is I teach people to tell stories and be really authentic. So even if they only want to use the script for bullet points, it'll prevent that mind going blank experience when you hit record.
So what I actually did when I was doing mine is actually, Ruben, if you go ahead and go to the Darius script in there. It should be right in your list. Nope, go back to the recorder. And then I'm saying, pull up my script there. Here, yeah, there you go. And scroll a couple down, a couple more.
I don't know if you shared it.
Oh, it's not shared. It's a hidden script. See, so this is why we have teams and permissions. So anyways, it's much like his here, but I actually used this and did actually what Paige said there, where I didn't read from it the entire time. I read, and then I hit the pause button. And then I read, and then I hit the pause button and delivered. So because it was a long script, it's like a minute and a half or something straight, right? And it's very technical. The specific things written for exact reasons. It wasn't just like a riff. Those are awesome, but when you're trying to deliver something specific, is where this can come into serious help. So I would read the line from the prompter, and then hit record and deliver the line, and then pause, and then read the next one and resume that way. So that was, like I said, a longer script that worked really well with. Auto scroll is coming also. So you do have the ability to manually scroll here, but auto scroll is right on the roadmap for the teleprompter as well. So for those of you who can't, the walk and chew gum things, pushing it, we got you taken care of. So all good. All right, so that's the full teleprompter.
Yeah, my confession on the teleprompter is that I was a little hesitant about the feature in the beginning because I had a little bit of a limiting belief about teleprompters where we should just speak, as authentically as possible and not memorize a script, but just be the script and then speak naturally. And what I realized, and Darius, thank you so much, and Shannon as well, you guys kind of made me realize that this is a very flexible situation. You can use it as an outline. You can use it as something that you glance at, something that you read directly from. So it's a very adaptable experience, and you kind of have to make it your own. I mean, is it ideal to read directly from a script and have your eyes go left and right? Probably not. But at the same time, it's really nice to have that support.
Right, because we're all at different skill levels, right? One place you can start with is reading, right? Like, okay, I'm comfortable here. And because, like I said, the memorization thing can be difficult for people.
And especially like when you have a team, and let's say you don't want to be the rainmaker all the time, and you want to leverage to have someone to do more like customer services script. That's perfect. Exactly
that. All right, next, what we want to cover? Kyra or calendar or Calify?
Yeah.
And Ruben, it's like you're doing the visuals. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll do the visuals. Yep.
Cool. So actually, the next one, right down the line here, Calify by Dubb. So you guys are familiar with Calendly, right? Who's probably not at this point. Acuity, these calendar integrated products. Dubb now has a built-in calendar product called Calify by Dubb. And just like Calendly, Acuity, all these other platforms, it's going to have all these same really powerful features. You can have multiple calendar types, different lengths, even prices, pay gates on the appointments, text message reminders, all the most powerful features on the advanced plans of like Calendly and Acuity. So it's a very robust calendar feature with all this stuff built in, and it's actually very competitively priced as well. So probably lower priced than other major players out there. So those are all the major benefits of it. Ruben, let's get a little visual. And of course, it's also directly integrated with the Dubb platform. So if you guys are using Dubb, it's going to be a really seamless transition. The calendar pieces will be right in your interface.
I was sharing the whole time, Darius, and then I realized I didn't.
Oh, nice. So he was doing his job. We just didn't see it. Technical difficulties. We're good.
Human difficulties.
So here's the back end of the calendar. And this is actually from the admin view where you can see we have different appointment types. And if you guys are in a team setting, this functionality actually works really well. You can have like a round robin situation where, if you have 4 team members who are taking your calls, right? Like Roberto, we're talking about customer service. You have maybe 1 or 2 people, and if one's busy, the other one should get it, right? And that's how the calendar can work for a team as well. So individuals, team settings, it's all set up for that right out of the gate. And I don't know, let's cover some of the cool things here. Like, so everyone's familiar with just the link, right? You can snag your little link on Calendly or whatever. That's what everyone uses. You put it in your signature, all that stuff. And so you can see just a click, it's the same deal, pops into your calendar where they can grab one of your appointment types, time, dates, everything. Ruben, did you click the group one or the individual one? I didn't see.
This is my individual calendar link, Ruben-Dua. Yeah.
There you go. So then this is one where you would only book through him and for his availabilities. But if we had the team situation, it's very similar where instead at this point you'd have multiple availabilities.
One of the features that I really like is the SMS notifications, because I know that since we added SMS notifications to our calendar bookings, the show rate just dramatically skyrocketed, because people don't forget about it. So they get a notification in their calendar, or I should say they get added it to their calendar, then they get a notification on desktop, an email notification, and then of course an SMS notification. So those are extremely helpful to get that show rate increase.
Does the calendar page embed below the video or opens up another window?
Yeah, it's fully embedded.
It's going to be just like a Calendly or anything else. Where this is its own. So like if you don't want to include it with a Dubb video, you have its link by itself. But of course, it is incorporated as a CTA directly below your video as well.
Awesome.
Yep. I was going to say
you can do multiple calendars with that as well.
Yep. As many different types as you need. I think actually, I don't remember if there's a hard limit on there, but I think it's unlimited different type appointment types.
And then when you say different calendar types, do you mean Google, Apple, Outlook, or do you mean booking types?
like a prospecting call, a lead, whatever, like right, different purposes. That's
or alternatively, when you work with different clients at different times, they may have their own systems. They want you to plug into their calendar for different activities. So I may have client calendars, and I may have personal calendars, and I may have family calendars, and I want to make sure that I'm not having conflicts with any of those calendars.
Okay, so that may be a little bit different. So if you're managing a client's calendar on their behalf, then they would likely need their own separate Calify appointment type, because when you're actually setting up your page, there's a logo, there's some branding, there's a business associated with the Calify. And actually, one of the things we didn't cover in this is in the setup video. I just recorded this thing myself, so I know it is. During that setup process is matching your subdomain and your company name from Dubb to Calify, so that it's one seamless brand. So in that case, Russ, if you're managing clients' calendars, we would need separate Calify accounts in that particular use case.
And then here's just a visual on the different category types. So for example, I have meeting, quick call, and I might have personal here. So this is a way I can sort of set up not only my categories and different types of calls, but also my sub appointment types. So I can have 15-minute, like you might, for example, Russ, you might have your podcast, your sales prospecting, and then with podcasts, you might have discovery call and then podcast recording session. So this is kind of a way to manage that.
I'll have to look at it. And I would imagine we can automatically drop in a StreamYard link there as well, right?
Yeah, you can. You can actually sync to Zoom. So every time a calendar, I actually set that up where if you click on integrations, and then if you go to Zoom, you can actually sync your Zoom account. This is actually on a trial right now, but I can sync my Zoom account. And that way, every time a calendar gets, a booking gets generated, a unique Zoom URL appears. And then also you can add the StreamYard link as well. I really wish that StreamYard had that same functionality that Zoom has, where you can auto-generate through API a URL that gets then pasted to third-party platforms, just like how Zoom creates it. That would be really neat. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the link to the show would already be
exactly. So that's really neat. That's a one very manual thing on StreamYard that I wish changed.
Probably a big hurdle to provide that type of technology, and that's why Zoom is who they are, and they have a lot of money going into that stuff. So okay, let's see here. Any other thing on calendar? I know we had some interesting questions and the applications. I was going to say I haven't missed booking. Like I have a calendar that I use, right, and I haven't had a no-show, I think, in over 6 months. Like this whole year, I haven't had someone miss an appointment. I have had people, though, when they connect with me, say, like, what are you using? I'm like, I have emails. I have like 2 or 3 emails. I have a text message. It's like, I just couldn't miss this thing, right? I don't know. I got so many reminders. And I was like, and now we can provide that to everyone. And you don't need other technology. You can all be right within in the.
Is that the same to log in? Is that the same login that you use for Dubb, or you open a different account?
You will need to open a new account, but you will need to use the same email. So whatever you use to sign up with Dubb, you'll use to sign into Calify. It will be a separate login technically. But once they're connected, it's fully integrated. You can click, like Ruben, you see that calendar button? You can just launch right into Calify in the top right there. Yeah. So right from your dashboard, you can go straight into Calify and do everything you need to there. And once you're logged in, they're synced up and it's remembers you're logged in.
Yeah, and there's a reason why we sort of avoided single sign-on, where it's just an instant one-click connection. It's because there's a lot of different use cases for the calendar engine, and we're still learning what those are. For example, on one hand, on the enterprise segment, this could be 700 users that come in, they have an account on Dubb, and then maybe some of them need an account on Calify, some of them don't. So we would never want to make a situation where they do a one-click and then everyone's added, and then there's billing issues. And then on the flip side, people have different logins. They might share a different email address with different people. So there's kind of a couple of different reasons why we have that. Although we are considering building a full-on single sign-on SSO integration, but we will just kind of get some data first.
Yeah, there's a lot of manual kind of process between how an SSO environment connects to single sign-on. Means like a whole team can sign on from one portal. Just like if you're already into Dubb, it logs you straight in. But like I said, there's some just technical integration that we need to work through. So
yeah, and then the technology on the back end that we're using for this is not something that's fully homegrown. We are using with the kind of the best tech provider out there in the space for calendar integrations called Chronify. And so we have a partnership through them with some other partners that allowed us to build this very quickly, where we didn't have to build something and reinvent the wheel. We're kind of leveraging a lot of existing technology that just works. So
other products like Acuity and Book Like a Boss, they're all powered by the same engine. So it's like a open source almost. It's not quite open source, but it's anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so this is the calendar product, and as you can see, Ruben, do you have a CTA connected here where you can just show it embedded below the video?
You know what? I don't, but what I could do is I could create one right now.
I have one, I think, in the account, but actually I think it's only mine, so you can't see it.
Okay, so maybe I'll let you do a screen share. Do you want to jump to the Kyra?
Yeah, I mean, if Shannon, you want to take one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kyra is really exciting. It's a real-time feedback assistant that allows anyone to become more self-aware and improve their communication. And how that is done is just with the data. It's just using data. So Kyra doesn't make any judgments, but Kyra does provide you data on how you're speaking in your videos. So it scans your video and says, okay, wow, your cadence is actually at 183 words per minute. And Kyra tells you that your persuasiveness, so this is how Kyra will actually tell you how persuasive you are on a scale. You can kind of determine that by how many persuasive words you may have used. So Kyra will actually identify exactly how many persuasive words you've used, how many empathetic words you've used. And then, of course, when it comes to like slang, profanity, and jargon, I mean, this is under the professionalism kind of banner, because obviously those things can be valuable if you're swearing maybe 15 or 30 times per video. Maybe it's time to take a look at your swearing. And again, maybe that works for your business. It's up to you to kind of take this data and decide. But Kyra's there to give you that data to allow you how to move forward. And we've seen that it helps you to make better videos. I look at the data, I say, maybe I've been using a little bit too much jargon in this video. I can use less jargon, and it'll tell me exactly which words that I'm using. If I'm repeating scalability, 3 or 4 times per video, and I notice that over time, that can be valuable. I can it's not like I don't have to phase it out completely, but maybe just cutting back a little bit will help me communicate a little bit better, the wider vocabulary. And so that's the goal of Kyra, is to help you communicate more effectively with really detailed speech analysis.
I think one important thing there too is, sorry, Ruben, is that the fact that it's not passing judgment, right? Because maybe you cuss, maybe you say a lot of cuss words, and your clients love it, and we're not here to say that that's good or bad, because that's not our responsibility. That doesn't make any sense. You can communicate how you'd like, but like for me personally, the words per minute thing, you can tell I'm like blah, 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 really fast, right? And if I'm trying to do a tutorial video at 300 words per minute, it's not good. That's not good. So I'm able to get that feedback, and it's enabled me to improve, where I know when I'm in a different setting, I know that, okay, typically I'm saying a lot of really technical words and I'm speaking really fast, and people are like, what the heck's going on? So I now know that specifically from this, because people won't always tell you, hey, you're talking too fast, or I don't understand what you're saying. They're just going to like glaze over, right? And so you get this kind of objective feedback from our AI assistant. And that's where it's personally helped me improve, is communicating in a way that I know is going to be more intelligible for more people, because I'm guilty of the high speech, lots of jargon. So there's some real use case here that I've actually learned from.
Yeah, and I think another thing that I kind of take away from this tech as I start to use it and kind of see how I feel, because it's a very emotional thing to receive feedback, either from a human being or from a computer. Sometimes it's easier to get feedback from a computer because it's non-judgmental, and because you don't have to deal with feedback. I don't need to say thank you or you're wrong. It's there. And I think what I'm trying to say is that it's this idea of self-realization. You know, let's learn the rules. Let's understand what's happening. Let's learn about ourselves. And then if we want to break them, that's cool. But at least we're aware. You know, there's TED Talks where, you know, people are cussing. There's TED Talks where people are using too much jargon or too much slang. So none of these things are right or wrong. There's simply information that helps you, hopefully.
So
There's
on the workflow for this, you record a video, then you can look at it and decide if you're going to put it out there, or you can actually redo it based on the feedback that you're looking to accomplish with the results.
So here's exactly, that could be one. Here's an example of how some teams are doing it is generating it for each video, and then their admins are actually going and looking back at the report for those videos and seeing their communication. So there's, you know, from a overview perspective of it, like post-mortem analysis of your videos, that's where I learned that I was like, wow, it's like 275 words per minute. This is just crazy. And so now I've dialed it back to under 200 is my goal. And that was all post-mortem analysis. And then, like you described, actually going through one time and reshooting it, that's not something I've done, but it's definitely something you could do if you realized, man, I said all these words that people aren't going to understand or something like that. So it really is up to you guys how you use the workflow.
Guys, I have to jump. I have a 6 o'clock. Much love to the Dubb team here. I'm a Dubb fanatic, and I can't wait to try the new features. Thanks so much, guys. So much love. Go get your Dubb account. If you don't have a Dubb, go get your Dubb account. Much love to the Dubb team.
We love you.
Thank you so much. Much love. Much love.
Bye-bye. Well.
Cool.
And I have to mention, now is a great time to upvote us on ProductHunt, or actually just support us, really. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to upvote. You could just go there and look at the page. And actually, in the comments section, I've added a link. And let me see, in the live comments. So if you just click on that, and yeah, that helps us get all these features out there. So thank you so much.
Upvote.
We're not allowed to say that, but I guess other people can.
I can say that.
Well, yeah, and commenting, we're on there with any questions. So if you have any questions for us, we're on ProductHunt. That's actually the best thing you can do is just ask us questions you may have about this. You can, of course, ask us in the live chat, but on ProductHunt, it's a great place because we'll get back to you with a really in-depth answer. So, again, the link in the comments.
Well, gratitude for all your work and congrats on all the effort and bringing it all together. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, I second that. Yeah, I keep using this tool for the last 2 years now. It just keeps getting better and better. It was always the most simple thing that kind of caught me by surprise, and I was excited to find it. And it's good to see you guys innovating, and it's really cool to be a part of it. So thanks.
Yeah, these are, for those of you who don't know, Paige and Russ here are some of our very closest Dubb family, and I don't know, without you guys, it wouldn't be the same, right? They're just the communication, the feedback, the stories. It's really what keeps us motivated and growing and happy and satisfied. Like you get a rewarding experience from our careers, and it's just awesome. So thank you guys.
Hashtag love my Dubb.
Right? Yeah, we love that one too. Okay, anyway, quick visual here. I think we had a question about just seeing how it integrated directly below your video. Just like any other calendar tool there, drops down to your appointment type, goes to the little flow. Your questions are optional and the reminders and stuff. But yeah, directly integrated just as we would any other calendar. And then you also have the option to link out separately, right, to this page by itself. So just wanted to give the quick visual for that piece. So, all right, what's next? So we covered Kyra, scripts, teleprompter, and we got a couple other things. What are they?
iMessage
extension.
iMessage, yes.
All right, so let's take a look here. I should probably not put my home address on the internet. Okay.
Here's the social security.
All right, so let's see here. Video of fan.
I love that one.
That's my favorite. This one has made its way into so many videos. There it is again. I have it twice. Video of fan. So in this demo, what I'll be doing is I'm just going to send a text to Shannon. Oh, there it is. Did you guys just see that? there it is. Video Dubb is now up to date, 6.1.2. There it is. There's the drop. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click. The first thing I want to do is I want to click on this, and I want to put it before the Domino's Pizza app. Okay, so when I click on that, let's see if I'm logged in. I actually think I have to log in because I'm gonna come back with the screen share. Maybe Shannon, you could introduce this, and I'll come back with the screen share.
See, we have a lot of 2FA and cybersecurity stuff set up to keep our environment really safe. And for demonstration purposes, it's not always the best because they're like, oh wait, hold on, I need to pull up my authorization app and stop the screen share. Give me 30 seconds while I'm. And so that's what we're going through. But safer is better than sorry. So if you guys don't have any type of MFA and secure environment set up, definitely do it. It's so worth it, right? Dealing with the headache of, something else afterwards. So that was that. Shannon,
yeah, sure. And I do indeed. So we have a feature called the iMessage extension, which is actually built into the Dubb iPhone app. So if you're an iPhone user, you'll have access to this feature. And if you update your app, the Dubb app in the App Store, and then you go into your Messages app, and then you tap on the icon that looks like a blue A, which is the apps icon. If you're in a conversation with someone next to where you type out a message, you can tap on the A, which is the apps. Now you might have to swipe to the right, or actually swipe to the left, and then that'll show an array of different icons, which shows the different apps you've installed. And the Dubb icon will be one of those icons. Now you can tap and hold it, and then drag that icon to the front of your list, and then from there you can access that much easier, actually anytime. So whenever here's a photo. Whenever you're using your Apple Messages app. So whenever you're texting anyone, and this is with iMessage, but also with SMS too. If you're just using the Apple Messages app on your iPhone, you can tap on the Dubb logo, and then you can select from any of your Dubb videos right there, and then without even leaving your message, and then you can tap on one of your Dubb videos or you can even click on a camera icon and record a video right there. Or tap on any of your Dubb videos, and then that will be added to your message, and then you can send it. And again, it's pretty much the fastest way to record and send an actionable video ever, really. I mean, because especially with your presets, if you have your presets set up, you're able to really have it. It's kind of like it's a one tap, and you could have a whole calendar integration. So they're booking a time in your calendar. You could have links set up, and you can also edit those presets. Which preset is attached to that video, you can edit that right from the iMessage extension by just tapping on the three-dot menu. So again, you don't even have to open the app. It all works within iMessage over SMS and iMessage. So it's a great feature.
Android is coming soon. I don't know what exactly it's going to be called on Android. I don't think it's not called iMessage. It's called, I think, Android SMS app or something like this. So stay tuned for that. Our app team is kind of working on that, so that will be rolling out soon. So this is not going to be an iPhone only feature, although that's where it is starting out.
Right. So if you guys are familiar with like the Gmail add-on or the LinkedIn button, or one of those platforms, it's like that, but now on your mobile device. So instead of going to the app separately and opening it and copying, you're right in the tool you're already using. Click, and right, that's our mantra. That's the enterprise release: is we're going to meet you where you work, and your mobile device is no different. So. All right.
That's a really good point. There's so many people that I work with that will ask, where can I send this? And the question is almost becoming like, where can I not send this at this point? You can put it in messages on social media platforms. You've got SMS, you've got group batch emails, you've got batch SMS, and then now this. So I feel like what this is doing is just taking away any and all excuses from this being complicated in any way. Like there's no excuse now because it's easy and it's literally everywhere you could possibly want to share it.
Right. Like what about, I use WhatsApp. It's like, yes, you can send and track it through WhatsApp or GroupMe or whatever chat application you're using. It's right there. So yeah, everywhere you are, your Dubb's there with you.
And to give another little fangirl shout out, I asked if you guys could get integrated with Kartra, which is one of my favorite funnel building softwares, and you did it. You made it happen. So yeah, always kudos to you all for always innovating.
So we actually do have an integration project that's active, right? So if we have integration requests with, like, if it's something you built yourself and no one's buying it and it's not out there, we may not be able to build that integration. Reality. But if it's a real CRM and it's out there and it's got users, and we'd likely love to build an integration with them. So help us out there. Shoot us a request and say, hey, let's hook this one up. We may already have it. Cool.
Yeah, we can jump to the Dubb Marketplace. Darius, maybe you can take this question from Scott.
Right, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, I'd love to make sure Scott gets taken care of here. So, Scott, you said intro videos to intro to a prospect, samples. So what I recommend is you're really going to want to utilize your playlist here and your preset. So you're going to have, what's the one thing you really are trying to say to your prospects, right? You have a value proposition, an elevator pitch, something like that, that you have the reason you're reaching out to a prospect. I recommend getting one solid take of that, right? Putting your best suit or whatever that version of that is for you, putting your very best effort into that. And then you can reuse that with a personalized video in front of it over and over and over. So that's what I recommend. And then that way, the introduction you're making to that prospect, Scott, I couldn't say, who they are, if they're a Trojans fan, if like whatever, right? There's going to be some way to break the ice, some way to reach out to them very personally in a very human way. And then when you do so, it goes right into that pre-recorded video where you have your perfectly polished pitch or your reason or your whatever it is. So that's what I recommend, is that way you're getting the best of both opportunities for every single prospect you're reaching out to. And it doesn't take you more than 15 seconds or something, right? Hey, Scott, I wanted to make this quick video for you because you had a killer question on Dubb. Here's your answer. And then boom, right into a pre-recorded video that answers your question. So that's my recommendation for samples to intro your prospects. All right.
Awesome. Awesome. I think we're now moving on to Marketplace, which is another feature, the Dubb Enterprise ecosystem. Darius, do you want to take this one again? I mean, I think there's a ton of different integration on this. I mean, it's really opening up our integrations beyond what we have. So it's really exciting.
Exactly. So is my connection okay here? I know that I think I got a little connection. Okay, very good. So actually, so here's the thing is, people like Paige and many other people, probably even Russ here, use tools like Zapier to keep multiple kind of components going at once, right? I have 4 different systems. They're legacy systems. I'm integrated in them. I'm not going anywhere. And we need these things to talk. So this happens. And this is where the marketplace can really help. There's 3 different things with the marketplace. One is the Chrome extension. You guys are familiar with this. Gmail, LinkedIn, Salesforce, HubSpot, all these platforms have a little Dubb button built right into them, provided by the Chrome extension. So that's the first thing you're going to find in the marketplace. The second thing you're going to find in the marketplace is direct API integrations. So with a handful of our partners, Salesforce, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Sugar CRM, Pipedrive, and 1 or 2 others that have a direct API connection where your reporting can get synced back and forth automatically. Tracking is through those platforms. So there's a handful of those that are level 2 marketplace. And then finally, there's Dubb Sync, which is actually a full Zapier replacement that will allow you to connect any number of different platforms for any different reason. It's like if you guys are familiar with other things like PySync or Integromat that actually allow a 2-way sync, the syncs can do that. So
rest in peace, PySync.
Right. Oh yeah, rest in peace, PySync. They were eaten by our friends at HubSpot. So anyways, we have a Dubb Sync here. So it's going to be able to do all the things you could do with Zapier. Now, some of these integrations, more especially some of the custom ones, aren't built yet. But if we'll have a whole library of off-the-shelf integrations, if you will, kind of like recipes or workflows. So those are being built as we speak with some of the most popular platforms. Ruben's pulling up the list here. So, of course, all the enterprise tools are going to come first, and then we're going to work our way down here, just like we did with our other integrations. So the few you'll see here, there's actually many more on the list that are already coming to add here. And then what we're going to be able to do is connect these in whatever way. So I think, Paige, you had a really powerful example of keeping contacts updated, right, between Kartra and Dubb, I believe it was. And so this would eventually allow us to do that. Like Kartra is not in here yet, but if those were in there, that's exactly what this would enable us to do. And much like the Calify product, it's going to be very competitively priced for syncs and zaps or whatever, if you want to call them. So, all right, yeah, that's basically the full picture of the marketplace. Many of us are familiar with the extension, and then the deeper integrations are growing. Like I said, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Sugar, that list continues to grow. And then we have our Dubb Sync, which is going to be that deeper integration with really anything out there. So full integration with everybody. Everybody's a friend, and we can talk to them all. That's the goal here. All right.
Yeah,
I think that's probably it, right? That we can have said enough there. Because I mean, it's in growth as well, guys. So as we continue to add to this here, the functionality and the recipes be forthcoming.
Yeah. Yep. And actually, we do have a 3-minute video that we can roll if we have the time here. But I know there's also we have Russ and Paige here. If we have any questions on the features, I know you kind of speak for the community in many ways. So if there's any like top of mind questions that you have for the features that you just saw, maybe this is a time to talk about that, and then we could maybe go into a 3-minute video that we have that talks more about the Dubb Enterprise announcement.
And real quick, before we forget, we have this announcements engine. So now when we have new features, just click on the bell.
Yeah.
Click on the bell. There's a little red dot. So there's notifications. These are internal for your account, but then these are notifications for new features. So stay tuned for that. You can also get a desktop notification. We do a decent job at the video newsletters when there are features. So
I like the landing page short code, QR code for the page.
Yeah, shoot, we built some stuff we didn't even ever announce, right? Like the QR
you never
code,
announced that at all.
Short URLs, like right? We're building so fast that it's like, all right, it's built. Next feature. We didn't, because actually announcing it takes as much time as the building. We got to build the newsletter, create the video, support article, and then we just say, okay, it's there. It's there.
I think we did. We announced it on support. We have definitely some resources.
Yeah, it has been on support.
We got
been in the community.
There.
And here's a simple hack for everyone out there that you can, when we get back to networking, you can actually put that QR code on a magnetic name badge. So when you go to a networking event with your name on it, you could just say, "Hey, just scan my QR code," and it instantly gives them your contact.
I love that. I love that. When we launched this feature, I had this. Shannon, do you remember when we made those business cards? The square ones. When we launched this feature, I literally had like 3 boxes of business cards, and they all went to the recycling bin because I was like, well, what are we going to do with this? It's so old school. So the next round of business cards must have a QR code on them.
Yeah, a great option for home developers, realtors to put on for sale signs or for lease signs. That way, it's got that little bit of intrigue, and it avoids people having to type in the URL.
Right. This is exactly what this is for, is transferring your video to a physical medium. Well, not exactly. I'd say this is one of the main purposes. And actually, I know that some teams are leveraging this already, is because they do a lot of physical. They do mailers. And this is one way to transfer that video into a physical product. We never even announced that in a big way. I mean, it was said somewhere, right, on support, but here it is. There you go. Live announcement.
Yeah.
You all have been doing some upgrades to the automations builder as well. So that's been pretty exciting to see. And I guess I don't have any questions on the new things. I'm really excited about all of the things that come through the pipeline. I think I might just reiterate to anybody who sees this that, I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years. I've used tons of different softwares. I'm an AppSumo fanatic, but I've never been introduced to software founders like the 3 of you guys who really take what your top users say and suggest and then actually make it happen. Looking at these as well, I started asking about triggers that would be landing on a page, sending notifications. I know that's kind of a surprise, but coming up next. And
I was going to say, we have one we built just for you here. Go to the if then, and then go to video reply received. And this was like, Paige had this workflow that was so powerful for collecting testimonials. And she's like, but how do we turn it off? And there it is. So thank you for that one.
Huge. Yeah. That's
fantastic.
most people, when they request a video testimonial, they only send it once, and people get timid, or it just gets buried in their inbox. So I have a workflow automation that will remind people 3 times, because ultimately, if I've done a good service, people want to send a testimonial. So I love this. This stops asking them for it if they've already sent it in. That's awesome.
That's huge. That's huge, because I don't care who you are. It's hard to get a video testimonial. I mean, I can't imagine how much work Jesus must have even had to do, just trying to get those testimonials. It's tough. You got to ask 6 times. It doesn't matter who you are.
8 to 12 touch points, right?
8 to 12 touch points. Doesn't matter who you are.
But to openly say some statistics, I mean, I asked a group of 21 business owners for their testimonial on some stuff that I helped them with, and I ended up with 13 videos.
Wow. How many follow-ups?
3 maximum.
And then where did they come in mostly? On the 3rd or the 2nd, or was it mixed?
It was a mix. A mix. But pretty much if you averaged it, it was the 2nd request.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
All right. Do we have other announcement, or do we make it through all of them? I think there was something else in here, like the automation announcements. Is that launched? Is that live?
Send notifications is actually one of the forthcoming features in automations. So we're just doing our kind of final QA round on that, just making sure that it's rock solid. So that's basically going to be if someone fills out a form, if a tag gets added to a contact, if there's any type of high value engagement, then the Dubb user can get an internal notification, which just means an email that goes to them. Let's say it goes to me if someone fills out a form. Hi, Ruben, so such and such person filled out this form. First name, last name, email, phone. A really good way to kind of call people in real time as they engage with the content.
I'm curious to see how many solutions I can take off my list if I integrate more with Dubb within just the ecosystem. I'm curious to see how many I could do.
Well, there was this company, and I'm trying to remember which one it is. It was Shannon would know it because it's one of those kind of cool automation companies that's been getting a lot of traction. But their website has a bunch of sections on it, and then it says this feature replaces, and then they have all the tools that it replaces. Shannon, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like got project management stuff, and it's got some kind of
is that ClickUp?
I think it's ClickUp. I think that's it. Yeah. And they have this section where it's like, this replaces these 3 platforms. This one replaces these 3. And you just go down the list and it's like, all right, I guess this is my all-in-one solution. And, it's bold for marketers to do stuff like that. It's very bold. Do we use that type of messaging? No, we don't. It's not, you won't find that type of stuff on our website, but is there a world where we start to communicate like that and say, legitimately, you can replace this if you just, upgrade to this add or just get this, included feature? We'll have to see about that.
So, I mean, the answer is yes. Like I have people that do this all the time, like internally that they replace their tools. They're like, so wait, you mean I can send all my emails, all my texts, and then I can have automations going out, and then I have all my videos in one place. So I can get rid of this tool, and that tool. And I'm like, yes. And now we just added a whole nother one, which is the Calendly, the whole calendar piece. So yeah, it's like, it is exactly that. And many people are doing that. But to Ruben's point, we stay in our lane, so to speak, right? We're like, we're video companies. So we do really good video stuff. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, Darius, that conversation that we were having the other day where every company is kind of expanding out.
Yeah, everyone's doing it. Like a perfect example, MailChimp, right? Like we're now a CRM too. And the MailChimp and the ActiveCampaign did the same thing. They were just an email tool, and now they're a full-on CRM. That's what they branded themselves as, right? And so everyone's kind of expanding their functionality into multiple things, and everyone's just going to be in this Venn diagram of overlap of, okay, everyone sends emails, everyone sends text messages, everyone does everything. So, I mean, unless, they get eaten up by each other, that's the eventuality of it, right? So, but yes, there's a tech expansion happening, and people are, expanding their products. I think it's pretty cool. I love it, actually. And it's like your own tribe, right? You'll end up where that tribe and love their products and try to use everything they offer, like people do with clothing, right? Like I'm going to wear everything Nike. I love Nike, so I'm going to put Nike on. And anyway, kind of like that.
Yeah. Speaking of replacements, the BioLink feature is another feature that we announced, which I think we could just do a better job of promoting this, explaining why people need it, what it replaces. This replaces tools like Linktree, and there's a couple others that I can't remember. But this is just basically. What was that?
Solo.2.
Solo.2. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So these social profile icons, or I should say social profile links, where you can share. Looks like we got another guest here.
Ruben, there was a big to do in some of the groups that I was working with people about digital business cards, and it was just some landing page link that would lead to all of their signature information. Well, this is a much better option right here.
Yeah. Thank you for noticing it. Hello, Dave Savage. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you later. Okay. All right, Dave, I think you might have some audio issues. I don't know if I could hear you. Okay, so Shannon loves using this. It's so cool. We'll get back to you. We will get back to you to reschedule. But this link right here will allow you to put customizable calls to action here. And then your social icons. And then this is fully kind of mobile optimized. It's really good for Instagram. Someone asked us the other day to allow them to put their Clubhouse link on here. So that's a thing now. And, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, the list goes on. So highly recommend folks to just go out to the dashboard, check out the BioLink section right here. It's a little quick configuration and then it's done. And this also has QR code. So actually this might be the best QR code to put on my business card because it's my go-to video with my specific calls to action that I want people to check out. So
I'd like to modify my URL
on a Dubb video page.
Yeah, well, it just says John's now, so
you can do that by going into your profile settings and updating your username.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
I thought that I had attempted that, and I may have to go in.
Do you mean for your bio link? I was going to say, because you can update your URLs for your video pages and you can update your URL for your bio link, but it is in separate places. Yeah, the bio link is the one page is described, and then your video pages are here.
And if you ever want to do it if you ever want to change the URL for a Dubb video, you just do it right here. Click on the pencil icon. A lot of people don't know about this, and then you can change that slug. These slugs, people use them up. So like the most popular words are gone now. So grab them while you can. There's a couple other features that we never really sort of just got integrated. They weren't big enough to announce, but this optimized for right here. This is a really powerful switch here, and we've added a number of platforms here. Darius, do you want to take this one on what this switch does and why it's valuable?
So one of the things I was describing is the Dubb Marketplace and the ability to send and track videos through any channel. And this continues to expand. And this is using any of the CRMs or any of the emailing tools in this list. You can now send and track videos through that channel. So it's kind of a backdoor integration where we don't need to set up and install and configure really anything at all. All we're doing is making sure our contacts are synchronized, meaning whatever contacts you have in that email tool match with the contacts in Dubb, and then you're going to optimize for that channel. And then now you can take this video and send it through whatever platform you've selected. And it's going to provide you that one-to-one tracking. It's going to show you specifically who watched, clicked, and opened. So MailChimp, for example, we can take a video, send it through MailChimp, and know specifically who watched what percentage of each video. So dozens and 24 people, that's growing all the time, by the way. And these are super easy for us to add. So if you have a system to add here, we can most likely do it. Like we said, we'd love to get all the more popular tools. You can see this list as many people recognize these names. And so we'd love to continue to add to this list. Very simple for us to do so.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say you have drip in your integrations, but not in your optimized for.
So actually the drip was probably from the marketplace because we had PieSync that was providing some connection there. And so adding drip, if you have Russ, especially if you have drip or have a client that has drip, shoot us the email merge thing. Here, we don't get too technical here. Shoot me an email and we'll add it to the list in like 24 hours. It's very, very fast.
Or alternatively, I could just integrate my email into Dubb.
That works too, right? Yep. But and that's it. You know, we want to meet again. The mantra we believe in and said for a long time is meet you where you work, right? So we don't force you to do anything that, you know. Look, I love my woodpecker or drip or whatever it is. I love my Yesware, and so use that stuff or use Dubb. So
wait, I have a question on that Optimize for.
Yes.
So I noticed you guys are just slightly behind on getting Kartra up there, but it's fully integrated in my Kartra email broadcasts or sequences. I click on the Dubb icon, it pops in the animated GIF. So I don't necessarily need that Optimize for because I'm not copying the code. Is that correct?
So there's one. That's a really good question because more recently we started building the Optimize for into that integration directly. So because Kartra was one of the more recent ones, I'm not 100% certain, though, if that was recent enough to get the Optimize for built into it. So we are going through this list again so that, like HubSpot, for example, is updated where the direct integration inside of HubSpot, when you drop the video, it includes the Optimize for. So Kartra, I'm not 100% sure. Again, let's just shoot me an email after. We can do a little test or just show me the email thing and I'll be able to answer it. And if it isn't, then we can add it to the Optimize for list, and then also the direct integration. But it might already be done, but shoot me the email.
So cool. So appreciative. Yeah, so many people in my world are using Kartra, so I'm pumped about this.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, we'll get that done, yeah. The other thing that I think people have been asking a lot about is this idea of what do I use to send emails out, broadcast emails? And this is a very complex question because there's so many different ways to do this. You can use, a service like MailChimp or Constant Contact. You can use Dubb. You can use Dubb via Gmail, via Outlook. You can configure a third-party sender like SendGrid or Amazon AWS. You can also use Dubb Sender, which is like a homegrown technology for sending. There's pros and cons to every single one of these things. I mean, there's so much that we've learned on how to optimize, email campaigns and how to get into people's inboxes without coming off as spam. And Darius, what would you like to share about sending options and some of the new stuff that's available on Dubb now for that?
Okay, so actually there's part of it that we're not even quite ready to announce because there's going to be it's still in the mix, right? Like high volume sending is still in the mix. Currently, what we provide is like what Russ just said here. You can connect your email, Gmail, Outlook, any email provider you have. Considering if you've been using it, it's already warmed up. But let's say you're new to the game, right? You've never sent volume emails. All you have is a free Gmail. There's some opportunities or there's some circumstances where I'd say, hey, I'm not set up for bulk. And this is where some kind of intelligence that we've learned about deliverability and high volume and getting to the inbox, right? You can send 10,000 emails, but if you got bad deliverability, 4,000 people might see that, might even get it in their inbox, let alone the spam or promotions. So there's all these little nuanced things that we're learning that most people aren't aware of, right? Like if you have an Outlook and you've been sending lots of emails, your volume's high, but your reputation might not be, right? If you've been sending kind of lots of prospecting stuff, maybe you've been marked as spam before. Maybe people have said that this is phishing or whatever, right? And usually you don't have an opportunity to see your health and your metrics of your email sending reputation. So it's kind of this dark world that not a lot of people are aware of, and that we're becoming very aware of when we're going to be providing these higher volume tools. So as of right now, you guys can send using Dubb Sender. These are fully warmed up domains. The only problem is they're not going to be fully labeled. So when you're sending it, it's going to say your first name, last name at DB Sender 1 or DB Sender 10 or something. So it won't have your domain in the email itself. So those guys are ready to go today. This is someone that look, I have a free Gmail and I want to send out 500 emails. You can do this with Dubb Sender, but it won't be coming directly from you. The phase 2 here is going to be a higher tiered where we can take your domain, send from the domain, kind of like what MailChimp does. It's from your email via MailChimp Sender or whatever. It's going to be very similar to that. High volume emails that can be sent from Dubb that are, it's just similar to what MailChimp does, except for without some of the things that MailChimp does. So that's kind of where it's at with high volume stuff from internally within Dubb. So you guys can always connect your own. You have a high volume sender, you have a send grid, a mail gun, something technical, by all means, bring that to the table. We love it. But if you are new to the game and have no idea about email deliverability, we're working on some products here that'll get you guys taken care of and get you sending emails like a pro.
Have you seen any changes in the deliverability on Gmail accounts and through Google platform at all?
I mean, I've learned so much about, yes. So it's just this year alone, it's gotten much, much harder to get into inboxes. As of last year, April, like Microsoft cut off a lot of the back-end switches for deliverability. The DKI or the demarcation SPF records, these are now more critical than ever to set up because as the thing with email is that getting people in trouble, right? Like you have to have a way to point the finger at somebody. And if you don't have your SPF records and your things set up, there's no one to point the finger at. And so they don't trust you. It's like a credit score, kind of. It's almost exactly like a credit score where it's, a lot of hard work to build up a good reputation. And then you get one or two dings and then you got a long uphill battle. So that's the real world of deliverability. And it is becoming more difficult in the sense that you can't just buy a brand new Gmail and send a 500 email and get good results, right? It's not going to happen. Right. So you're going to need to pay for the domain. You got to put at least $30 into that Google domain before it's going to be able to be recognized as a paid account. And that's going to greatly affect deliverability. The length of the account, how many emails has been sent from that account, and not just sent, but replied to and responded to. All these little tiny variables mark up to where your deliverability is. So we've got a handful of technology that will show you deliverability rates, that'll warm up your emails for you. And so these are all the kind of mixes that we're, like I said, bringing to you guys so you don't have to go through it. It's been a very long learning process for us. And again, that's what we like to do. We learn this stuff and then bring it to you through the technology. But yes, Russ, Gmail's getting harder, especially free Gmails. It's very rough with free Gmails. If you're writing,
well, fortunately, I have a vintage account with a domain, so
there you go.
It's okay, but it's I've seen an occasion where it's been limited. So
yep, no, absolutely. So I mean, what you might consider is making sure your, as I mentioned, the SPF demarcation. Make sure though, like you can go to MX lookup and just look up your domain, and it'll give you a little checklist there of everything that you need to make sure your email is set up right. So that's what I recommend for anyone that wants to check out their domain health. MX toolbox. There's an MX lookup. Toss in your domain there, and it'll say your SPF record's not set up. Your demarcations record. This means 30% of your emails are not getting delivered. So there you go. Tip of the iceberg.
All right, so we have a question here from Scalar.
Scalar, yeah, he's going to be one of our very powerful affiliate members. So awesome. Let's see here his message. I see. Oh, it's the whole full thing there. Congratulations on the new and powerful features. Are we able to use the sequence and send out to our growth partners? Absolutely. So you can take this video or any video we produce from YouTube, directly upload it into your Dubb account and drop it into your sequences, drop it into your partnership stack. Leverage any content we produce as if it were your own. So we mentioned this in our affiliate channels and our partnerships. You guys here too, you're power affiliates of ours, you're close friends. Anything we have is at your guys' disposal. So absolutely.
And we've got a feature suggestion here on the video player. Please add a feature to backward and forward by 15 seconds. Great suggestion.
Netflix. Right?
Netflix, right. God, I mix up those buttons, the top row and the bottom row of Amazon Fire, the remote. I don't know if you guys do that, but I'm like the nemesis in this house where I think I'm going back 15 seconds and then boom, I'm on the home page.
Right. And then there's like there's the different platforms that have the different buttons. Like not everyone has the skip 15 or right. So you press it and then you're like somewhere else. Yeah. So I love that feature too, though. It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. What we would recommend that you do is actually go to community.dubb.com. Maybe Shannon, you can help with this post, community.dubb.com, and then just go. There's a section for feature ideas or suggestions. I forgot what it's called right now, but we'd suggest that you just go put that feature suggestion in there, and let's engage the community. Let's get more folks to give us buy-in on this. Our challenge as software developers is that we've got a long list, a whole roadmap of features that we're building, integrations, and we need to figure out how to prioritize. So the truth of the matter, obviously, is that we need to prioritize based on demand. So I love this feature idea. please suggest it, and we'd love to see it happen. There's the link, community.dubb.com. Yeah.
Nice.
One of the things that I think we would be remiss not to mention, and if anyone needs to kind of pop out or pop back in, this is very, very, very flexible revolving door. So it's all good. No need to say goodbye even. But this is the presets feature.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
This is the presets feature, and I think that the presets feature is really, really good for efficient people and also lazy people. Or both. So because it just gets you set up. So Darius, maybe you could take this one.
Honestly, I think presets, this one isn't necessarily new, but I think it is one of the most transformative features that we released in a really long time, because it changed the way I do things. It changed the way I know that other people use presets, do things, because it's like sending one email at a time or creating a workflow. That's like the analogy I would use, right? You learn how to build a sequence of emails. You're never going to go back to sending single emails again. And it's the same thing with the preset here. When you learn how to do your setup ahead of time, like your branding, your calls to action, your social proof, your assets, your case studies, whatever those things are, you set all that stuff up ahead of time once, and then moving forward, you never have to do it again. So any of those common activities you do on a regular basis, we can automate those, where all the setup, all the stuff you would have to do originally is done for you instantly. So like we have a dozen or more templates. Like I personally have 3 or 4 that I use all the time, like based on my most common activities. And it's like literally minutes of time saved on every single video you create. So as mentioned, transformative in terms of what we're getting out of it. The playlist alone is a huge, huge part of that. So the playlist you can see is a subset of the preset. So when you create a preset, it has a pre-built-in playlist. And so we had a gentleman earlier that asked about, how do I do my prospecting videos, or what do I do for intro videos? And the reason I made the recommendation I did is solely based off of that preset playlist feature. Because if we didn't have that, it'd be a completely different pitch. It'd be a completely different idea of what to do with that video, because there would be nothing after it. You'd have to go and put it in a video editor or whatever that case might be. So presets has been really transformative, and a feature that has really gotten a lot of success for us as well, because when we show this to teams and they're looking at the other platforms where they're having to do these things manually, it just becomes like wow, I can do the same thing in a fraction of the time and get way more actually out of it. So same amount of effort, 3 times the result, if you will, where there's just so much more production value with literally the same amount of effort. So presets is awesome. It's one of my favorite features. I show everyone that I possibly can.
Now you just need a marketplace so people can share their presets.
Right, and actually had some questions about that. I think that there is a world where we can have like a universal preset with a cool kind of generic background and maybe some even generic CTAs, like reply with video. That goes on everybody's preset, right? And then the other one might be, I don't know, connect your affiliate or something. We can come up with some general ones though, yeah.
Well, bridge the gap between the landing page and the complication of that versus something you could drop in and make it super simple. To have somebody build a bunch of them and then share them with other people. Like
a template, exactly. We have our email templates where you can pre-install a template. Just click it; it gives you all the stuff in there. So there you go, Ruben. Here, let's put another thing down. Installable presets, where you go to our preset library and install one. So that's kind of cool. I don't know the technical side of it yet, but it's a good idea, and I'd love to put it on the map.
Love that.
Cool.
I really appreciate all the work that you've done, and I love the feedback from the community as well. And I, for one, I absolutely, it's been a game changer for my business. And like I mentioned before, in ProductHunt, I think as I've had over 450 episodes of the Pirate broadcast that I book exclusively through Dubb, using Dubb, and the follow-up and the introductions and all of the things that I do with the podcast is utilized and leveraged as a result of having Dubb in my arsenal of tools. So I just, hats off. Thank you so much for all you do and all the work that you've done, and just being part of the community.
Yeah, we appreciate the heck out of you, Russ. I see you in there in our community and our forum and everything. And every ounce of energy you give us, we really appreciate and want to reciprocate that for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Back and forth.
Right. All right. What do we got left?
This is cool.
We do have a video. We do have
All
a video for anyone who's just joining the broadcast. We have a video that talks about our Dubb Enterprise announcement. And if you're just joining us, this is a big announcement. Definitely hit us up on Product Hunt and share your thoughts. We're actually answering questions on Product Hunt. So if you have any questions, we can answer it in long form. There's links and comments in the description. That always helps. Anyways, right now we're going to do a video. So thank you so much for joining, and have a good one, Russ. Thanks for joining. You're awesome.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Have a wonderful weekend. Farewell.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
We are so excited to announce Dubb Enterprise. Dubb Enterprise changes the way you create, share, and track videos with a robust new feature set.
Our mantra has always been to meet you where you work. And with these new features, we're doing exactly that. With the iMessage extension, Marketplace, teleprompter, scripts, Kyra, and more. Using the teleprompter and scripts feature, you or your best copywriter can put your best foot forward and enable your team to say exactly the right things at exactly the right time. And these scripts are available for both mobile and desktop.
As part of this announcement, we're also announcing an entirely new way to get bookings in your calendar and to manage your calendar. Calify from Dubb is a great alternative to Calendly, Acuity, or any of the known scheduling platforms out there. And best of all, it's priced more competitively and it's much more integrated into the Dubb platform. Not to mention, you get your own proprietary booking link that you can put in your email signature or your social profiles.
So Dubb Marketplace is also another part of Dubb Enterprise announcement. And what this entails is an entire marketplace where Dubb integrates with all the other players in the system. The first piece here is the Chrome extensions, which many of you have experienced. We have direct integrations with LinkedIn and Gmail, but then there's also our robust partners like Sugar and Salesforce, where there's direct API connection so you can send and track your videos through any channel on our partnerships. And then finally, there's Dubb Sync, which is a full Zapier replacement, as well as some other really cool two-way syncs you don't get with Zapier. And it's also competitively priced.
We're also proud to announce the Dubb iMessage extension. With the Dubb iMessage extension, you can record and share actionable videos from your favorite native Apple SMS app. There's no faster way to send an actionable video via SMS.
Another awesome proprietary technology we've developed here at Dubb Labs is an AI-powered communication assistant we've named Kyra. What this does is provide an automatic analysis of every one of your videos, and it's going to tell you exactly how you're communicating, things like repeated words, fillers, jargon. It provides criteria based on 9 different elements of feedback for you to improve your communication.
We are also proud to announce Dubb Academy, an all-new way to meet with Dubb coaches in a live environment and to get educational assets on how to get the most out of Dubb and how to maximize your sales and marketing efforts. We're going to share more details about how Dubb Academy can help you in your business very soon.
Communicating our progress has always been a very important thing to us. And as a result, we've added a new announcement engine directly into the Dubb dashboard. Thank you for your continued support on evolving the Dubb platform and doing the most important thing for your business, which is driving results. We are announcing this feature set on Product Hunt and would love to get your support. So if you have some time, please go to Product Hunt, search for Dubb, and consider checking out our campaign and leaving a comment. We will be answering all comments in real time.
Our team has worked for months putting their blood, sweat, and tears into these features, and we hope that they provide as much value to you and your team as they have to our customers and our team. Thank you so much for your support.